And welcome to Clouding the Senses. I'm Valandar, and we have an extra special week for you today, because today we have a special guest. We have Jordan Mallot, who is the sales manager and sales lead at Dovpo USA. Yes, Dovpo, the manufacturer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and bring him on in here, and we'll get started. Welcome, Jordan.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Okay, the first thing I've got to say is the main reason I approached you was because Dovpo is one of the manufacturers who has a completely distinct approach to the aesthetics of their devices. I think the very first thing I'm going to ask is, do you guys start with the power and performance that you want to work with and build the aesthetics around it, or do you start with the aesthetics and figure out what can fit?
Well, honestly, we really just want to produce a quality box for people, that performs well, that's going to be dependable, but we don't want to follow in the norm all the time. We want to make it, have a nice look, have a good feel. Ergonomics is a big part of some of our devices, and also just something that's interesting to look at. Everybody's an individual, everybody's different, has their own personal preferences. Why would you want something that everybody else has? You know what I mean? Just something different that looks nice and feels good in your hand and might make you stand out in a crowd if you're at a vape lounge or something.
Okay. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go over the various devices that you currently have on your website. And some of them are quite memorable. Perfect example for that would be the ELVT. I've seen this sucker, I've seen videos of this thing being thrown off a 3-story building, run over by a truck, and just in general abused. And then they slap an addy on and vape it straight. With this one, I've got to ask, did you go for the aesthetics first because it is unique, or for the durability first?
Personally, I believe that it was the durability. At the time, a lot of things in the market were very disposable. With your lower wattage devices in the beginning when those came out, you had a lot of your stick batteries that would break very easily. We wanted to make something that was very durable for people, because one of my main things, even still today, is that people spend a good amount of money on this and they expect it to last them. So one of the biggest tragedies in your life is when your box falls off your counter and you have that moment of silence, like, oh gosh. With this device, you wouldn't have to worry about that. Actually, at Vape Expo, New Jersey, I had one of my guy came up to me, and he was just like, I had one of the first generations ELVT. He was like, I dropped it in a river while I was kayaking. He was like, I swam down and got it and put my atomizer back on top of it, and it worked fine. So,
now the new versions are 30 watt, correct?
The newest version that we have out is our 5.0, and it is a 50-watt temperature control device.
Ooh. That's cool. Next one is another one that's pretty well known, the EMEC. Now, I gotta ask. All right, the EMEC was a CNA 30, if I remember correctly. But what was the deal with the logos? Did Hasbro give a C&D, or did y'all just decide it wasn't professional to have somebody else's logo on it?
Honestly, I'm not quite sure about that. I have worked for the company a shorter amount of time. The EMEC was before my hiring period, but it's just with some of this stuff, you got to be very careful with your logos. We were taking a look at some of the logos for specialty cases for the new devices. I'm a huge Marvel fan myself, and I was talking about a Captain America shield. And we've kind of shied away from that just because we don't want to step on anybody's toes or anything like that. But I still think that that device is very nice. It's a very good device for somebody who's a big fan of the Transformers series. To be called a Transformers mod, you know what I mean? But I do think that is a solid device, and it's very nice.
I would say it's probably not as durable as the ELVT, but it still is. At least the version I have is still a bit of a beast. It feels solid. The next one is a device I never saw before until I pulled up the images to do this, and that's the XUV. Yes, half of that device is open to the air, and it is a pure mech mod. That thing...
Yes.
Yeah. Now, is that a side button device?
Yes. The
Okay.
bottom will twist to adjust for your battery.
Okay, and then that's so that in case there is an issue with the battery, you can just thumb the battery straight out. Is that correct?
Yeah, you should have no problem. It's really a safety thing. You know, when batteries start to vent, they heat, and you want to be able to get that battery off as fast as possible. A lot of batteries will swell inside of your tubes, and you actually can't. So we just wanted to make something that was nice. It's kind of like an exoskeleton. It's the must-have with it. You know what I mean? Like just the bare bones. It's like a bracket shape, and it just keeps your battery in. You can flick it out if there's a problem, and also it's just it helps with venting, keeping your battery temperature cool.
Okay, so in situations where it wouldn't necessarily you know completely vent, but it might weaken the battery life, for example. Um, MJNR, he said that you can adjust the bottom. I'm assuming that's to make sure that the battery doesn't fall out.
Correct. Yes, it does have a battery adjust in it, so it keeps it tight inside.
Okay. It does kind of look like a 134, but I can tell from the picture it's only got 6 nodes instead of 8. The next
Yes.
one is what can only be described as an updated kick. That is the Safe Link. It fits on mech mods, and then you put the Addy on top of it. And it looks interesting. I noticed on the website that there were different types of readouts you could have. How do you adjust it?
How you would adjust it? I haven't had much experience with the SafeLink. Once again, it was a product before my time in the company. What I have done with it is basically the whole thing for it is just it's a regulator for your mech mod. So people who are new to the building game, people who are new to mech mods, a lot of people go out there and try building their own coils as soon as they buy their mech mod, and they aren't sure what wire to use. They aren't sure how many wraps to use, and it can be unsafe. This puts a level of protection in between, your coils and your battery. So it will regulate your device like a normal regulated device to keep you safe in the event, that you might build something that's a little too dangerous for your battery.
And since it mounts on top instead of inside, it doesn't take up battery room like a kick tip does.
Right.
Okay. Next is the EX200. This thing is a parallel, unregulated box that has reverse polarity and short protection. It looks not like what I expect from Dovpo. It's so much like a standard box. It's almost the exact same shape as the Sigeli. What can you tell us about
Yes.
this?
Well, the GX200 was our step into like the mechanical mod world. The XUV, the GX200 came a little bit before that. It basically is just a simple mech mod device. Down here in Florida, we have a local shop a little bit away from us that really enjoys these products. They sell a lot of them. It's a basic box. Yes, it's not as styled as some of our devices and everything like that, but it is a performer. It's fairly small, and some people really enjoy the box. It's just whatever you're into. You know what I mean?
Okay, and Albie in chat notes that it's a great mech box. He's had one for about 6 months. So, like all Dovpo products, it's pretty reliable then.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a very nice little device. It's durable. It's metal. It's just it's a nice little box. It's a little resilient, and it's a nice little mech box to have. It has a nice readout on it. Very simple to use.
Okay, now the readout, is that volts or watts, or what does it read out?
It reads out in volts.
The current volts of the battery, or?
Yes.
Okay. Next comes the DT50. This thing, when I first saw it, the first thing it made me think of was more of a 60s era design with those, like a 60s era portable radio.
Yeah.
According to this, it's 50 watts. It has temperature protection, but not temperature control, meaning that the box itself shuts down if the box gets too hot.
Yes, it's just a regular temperature protection to keep you from, hurting any internals in the box.
Okay. Unusual placement of the controls on the face of it instead of the side.
Yes.
Now, how old is this design? How long has this particular product been out?
Oh, I think it's about a year old now. We did do the GT50 and the GT100.
Okay. All right. That was the GT50. Next comes the Mini 50. This one is tiny. It's a 50 watt, no temperature control. Very clear. You can see right there it's showing that it's got the wattage. It's got a bar graph for the battery. What can you tell us about this one?
Honestly, that was the first Dovpo product I owned before I started working for the company. It was in a local shop down here, and I saw it. The price was good. I wanted to get into a regulated kind of wattage box because I was just using my tube mech mod, and I bought it. And it was one of the most little reliable boxes. I took it everywhere. It was tiny. One of my big things with regulated boxes is I think a lot of them are way too oversized. This is a small little box. I can put it in my pocket with my iPhone 6, and it's comfortable to carry around. My boss, our marketing director, uses one of these every day. He's got a nice little silicone case for it, uses it every day, does him fine.
Now, is this a LiPo battery inside, or does it use 18650, 18350?
It uses a single 18650 battery, yes.
Okay. Next, we have the Guardian 1.5. This is a 2-battery, 150-watt temperature control device. And it's getting back into those more unusual aesthetics with the various rounded portions and the ridge on the backside as it fits into your hand. And the cross-section is interesting, too. It's not perfectly flat.
Right.
Okay, what can you tell us?
Well, this is my daily right now. I've had it for about 5 weeks. It's a very comfortable mod, but it is a little on the weighty side, not as much as some of the other devices out there right now that are really, really heavy to have in your hand. But this is it's solid. It's a solid aluminum box. It has bottom-loaded batteries, and it's form-fitted with silica gel on the outside. It's actually form-fitted from the factory. It's not a case. So it gives you that resilience of having, a rubberized exterior. So when you drip juice, it's going to run down. If you ever drip, like I do sometimes, you won't have a problem with it getting any of the internals of your battery or anything like that. We have a redesigned bottom battery door. It does have a battery lock. So when you slide that in, you lock it. It does lock your batteries into place with 2 pegs. 150 watts and temperature control, 200 degrees to 600 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a great looking little box. It feels very comfortable in your hand, and that was something that we were going for with it. With my hand size, I can touch my middle finger and my thumb really comfortably around it. The ridges in the back give it an extra grip, so you don't feel like when you pull your mod up to your mouth it's going to pop out and like hit you in the teeth or anything like that. And the also rubberized coating on the outside just makes it grippy. It feels good in your hand. And
yeah, we actually have a couple questions about it. Jester01 asks, does it have a Yeehee chip in it?
It does not have a Yeehee chip. We actually use Texas Instruments or TI chips, so all of our internals in our boxes are now American-made.
Okay, and Andy Summerfield asked how the battery fit in. From the look of it, I would say, all right, you say that compared to this picture, there's a new style battery door, or is this?
No, that's the
It actually has a lever on the bottom of the device that locks or unlocks the battery, and then I'm assuming it slides out.
Yes.
And then you just put the batteries in.
Yeah, they're in series, so you just pop them in, slide your door in, put lock, and then your device powers on.
And there is protection for like reverse polarity, put them in backwards, things like that.
Yes, everything. We got a whole list of protection on our website to take a look for this.
Okay. The next one is the Executive 5.0. This is a cute little 50-watt temperature control device.
Yes, it's very, very small. Even smaller. Some of you all may have experience with the Mini 50. This is even smaller than it. I've got rave reviews about this product. They love, it's got those curved edges. It's nice and rounded, fits in your hand easily. People just seem to really like the look of the box, and they like that it's mini. It's 50 watts. It's powerful, small, single 18650. And it has temperature control, 200 to 600 degrees Fahrenheit. It's got a nice kind kind of like a brushed aluminum finish on it. So it's grippy. It doesn't feel like it's going to slip out of your hands, just like anything else in the new line. Yes, it is another TI chip. Sorry, I just saw that on the chat. But it's a nice little device. It feels good. If you only need 50 watts, it's very stylish and a very nice device to own.
Okay. And the last one that I managed to get from your site was the Mini ELVT, a tube mod that, yes, it's a tube, but they've got all sorts of details, and it's got that silicon stuff. Now, originally it was 35 watts, and I think the new one is 50 watts with temp control.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Now, is this as durable as the original ELVT?
Okay, so yeah, I'll talk about that for a second. We have had to do some safety things with the ELVTs, just because you're using a high drain 18650 battery, and for venting reasons, we have had to put venting holes on the bottom. So it is not water proof, but it is water resistant. It is shock resistant, crush resistant. You all can go on YouTube and check it out. There's videos of people running these over with their cars still. I personally, when we go to trade shows and things like that, one of my demonstrations is to put a battery in here, put a tank on top of it, take a hit from it, take the tank off, throw it up in the air about 6 feet, let it drop, and then I can stomp on it, pick it up, put the tank on it, I can still vape from it. Okay. So anything that you have for your everyday. I'm originally from West Virginia. I moved down to Florida. We have a lot of oil pipeline workers and stuff up there right now, and these are very popular with them. Guys who are vaping, who don't want to, they spend money on their box, just like I said before. They want to make sure it's going to last and that it's going to be durable for them.
Okay.
They don't want something that's going to break.
So something like that, or the original ELVT, would be good to send to, for example, our military out in Afghanistan or any other place that they're in that's not exactly near a major city.
I would agree with that 100%. I actually have, I got a call from a guy who was taking a look at these, who lives by a military base, and he sells them like crazy. They like them. They can put them in their pocket when they're on patrol, and they come in nice colors, and they're really durable. So the soldiers where he's at really seem to like him a lot.
Okay. Now, Scuba asks, what's the deal with the Defender mod? Did it ever release? Because he saw the prototype way back.
The Defender, no, it did never release. So, yeah, that's so once again, that's a little bit before my time in the company. I'm trying to help you out as much as I can with it. But to my knowledge, it has never released, and yeah.
Okay. Now, is there anything that I missed that you want to talk about? Any devices that Dovpo has that just didn't happen to be on that particular site?
Yeah, sure. I can talk about a couple of the new things. This is our Executive 10.0. This is our 100-watt temperature control box. It's styled really similarly to the 50-watt. It's a little bigger. It does take two 18650s. Has a battery door in the back. Comes with a silicone case right here whenever you buy it. My fiance actually has this device now. She's been using it for 4 or 5 days now, and she just loves it. It's small enough to fit in her hand. It's short. It's not as tall as the Guardian. All of our devices are smaller than most of the competition out there. But no, they hit really well. They feel good, and in my opinion, and I think in most people's opinion, they look very nice to look at. They get a lot of looks whenever we're out. We were just recently at a vape lounge this past weekend, and we got a lot of looks with our mods. Just, well, what's that? It looks different, Okay. And that's something I like to go out, and I don't like to just have your standard box that everyone has. I like to have something a little different.
Yeah. Now, what is the price point? And by that, I'm meaning the suggested price, because obviously you can't tell us what every site is going to have.
Right, I understand. I'll tell you the suggested MSRP for shops. The Guardian is $119.99. That's 150 watts with temperature control. The Executive is going to be suggested at $99.99, 100 watts with temperature control. The Executive 5.0 is 50 watts temperature control. It's suggested at $69.99. The 75, our Mini 7.5, this is a 75 watt box with temperature control. It goes for $79.99, and the ELVTs are going to be $69.99 as well.
Okay. Now, EQ, I'm assuming you're referring to a basic Hammond box as Russian military designed. They're not going to use a DNA 200 because they're using TI chips. They have something similar. Like I said, the Guardian 1.5 has a 150 watt temp control. Is there going to be a 200 watt box coming?
I'm not really at liberty to discuss that at the actual moment right now. But we are, right now we're focusing on our new line to take a look at this. We're trying to sell this and focus on these devices right now. Excuse me. We do have some R&D going on right now to bring you a next line of Dovpo devices.
Okay, Real Vapes asks, any plans on titanium support? I'm assuming for the temperature control aspect.
Right, and that is something in our minds for our next device. I have been selling these as, suggesting that you not use titanium because with nickel wire, with temperature control, it's all in a graph. That's why Texas Instruments chips work so well. They're very used to your advanced calculators that have graphs, and it's just simple like that. With titanium, these are programmed for nickel, how their resistance. With titanium, it will be a little different, but we did find out the other day we built a titanium build just for fun and put it in a Guardian, and it did fire, but I highly, highly doubt that it is accurate temperature for that, for the readout, just because it is programmed for nickel wire. But you can function titanium on here. The readout isn't just going to be accurate.
Okay. Mike asks, what led the decision to use the TI chips?
Well, you see, whenever we started our United States partnership, because we are full partners, if someone's going to order, they can order from China, they can order from the United States. It's the same company. But when we came to terms with them, something we really wanted to do was get United States made internals. People trust that more. They are more dependable, and I just think it produces a better product for the user to have American-made chips.
Okay. We'll get back to that, Mr. Sip. Real Vape asks, are the TI chips firmwares upgradable for the end user?
We don't have a firmware upgradable situation yet. That's something else we're taking a look at. One of the things with this is we didn't want to put a USB port on it to make it a little bit more rugged. And as a company, we don't really support charging dual 18650s in your boxes, and that was another thing.
Okay. Now, at the Expo in New Jersey, I saw on the sign there was a tank that didn't happen to be visible on the website yet. What can you tell us about that tank?
Yes, there was, and it is the Harvest tank. I was actually looking around my office to see if I had one around, but we are currently at a show. One of our partners is currently at a show in Las Vegas and has taken it from me. So it is the Harvest tank, and it is a top-filled sub-tank. And we have our own nickel coils for it that ohm at a 0.2, so you can use them with any of your Dovpo devices, so you choose to buy one. So yeah, they'll take it. We have our own nickel coils, and for you who want to use Canthol in it, they take Aspire or Atlantis coils, so you can run a 0.3 in them as well. Okay.
Now, Mr. Sip had asked about the Dovpo RDA. Is there anything at all you can say about that?
A Dovpo RDA. Right now, we're really focusing on our tank game, but I have been in talks, so there may be something available at some point, but I'm not really at liberty to discuss anything about it.
Such as an RBA section for the Harvest?
The Harvest will not have an RBA, but we do have another tank in R&D right now. that will, I don't want to say likely, it is very possible that it will have an RBA.
Okay. All right, audience, is there any other questions you have dealing with any of their products, any of their aesthetics, any of their choices that they made in the development of their devices? Well, Captain Clapton says nothing but praise.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate
nothing
that.
But praise. Okay. All right. Anyone out there? Is there any complaints that you might have that Dovpo might be able to address?
We do like hearing from people who have had problems. We also have asked some people who have had problems to send their device in so we can take a look at them, just so we can learn from our mistakes, because we are, a company that wants to grow and wants to satisfy our customers.
Okay. So far we have, Albie saying he's happy with everything he has. Captain Clapton again. MJNR wants to know if you have a warranty.
Yes, we do. We do offer a year factory warranty on all of the new line. So that's going to be your Guardian, your Executive 10.0, the Executive 5.0, the 75 watt, your standard 6.0, and your mini ELVT 50 watt. All of those will come with a year factory warranty. If you have any kind of problem with them, we'll need a purchase receipt. We're going to have a form on our website. You fill that form out and send it in to us. We'll send them down to our techs in Houston. They'll take a look. As long as they don't find any, water damage or signs of abuse, then we can take care of you and find the best way to please you as the customer for 1 year.
Okay. Andy Summerfield asks, is there an official UK or European Union distributor?
We do have a UK distributor. I believe they're partners just like us. I would get in contact. Actually, I'll try to find that information out for you. I am a member on here, so you can send me an IM and just keep it, or send me an IM so I have it, and I will find that information out for you and send it over to you.
Jordan, the IMs don't retain if you refresh the screen.
Okay. But yeah, if you have a question like that, if you'd like to get in contact, we do have an email, info@dovpousa.com. If you'd like to send me an email, I can send that over to you.
Okay. That's the email address right there.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else the audience would like to say or hear? As it gets really quiet.
Yeah, right. I'm open. You can ask me whatever you like. I really love our product, and I really love talking about it. And if you guys have any questions at all, I'd be really happy to answer your questions. We're very excited here about our new line, and we want to get a Dovpo product in every shop. We want to put it in the hands of any vapor that wants something that's resilient and a little bit different, and that wants a good quality box.
Okay, and we have a few more questions now. Captain Clapton wants to know, what's your all-day vape? I'm assuming you want to know the device, the Addy, and the juice.
Okay, so my all-day vape is my Dovpo Guardian, and it is set on 66 watts, usually between 60 and 80 watts. My Twisted Messes RDA that I got at Vape Expo New Jersey from the builder on Instagram, M. Turk. He's a great builder. If you have Instagram, look at him. Great guy. And juice swings back between Sugar Bear, or Sugar Drizzle from Cutwood, and this stuff right now. It's the Bakery Peach Palmer. Really light, really nice, because heavy flavors make my stomach hurt. And this is just really refreshing and nice to have all day.
Okay. Scuba wants to know, what future vape meets will Dovpo be at?
Well, we are currently right now at an ASD show in Las Vegas. Our schedule, we try to go to as many shows as possible. There's a small possibility that we could be at ECC. We're still discussing that and looking at the pros and cons of going, but ECC is a possibility for us right now, but it's not a definite.
Okay. What about Mania in Winston-Salem next month?
We kind of just go 1 month at a time. We haven't talked about Mania yet. Right now we've been pushing really hard with getting all of our devices out because our release date was last week when we got back from New Jersey, and but more talks about shows will be had very soon, and we're going to have. Sorry, I'm just getting all tongue-tied. We're going to have our schedule for shows out very soon. You can check out our website and see events that we're planning to be at within the next couple months.
Okay, and Toilet Rage says, your gear is on Fast Tech. Is that official?
The new devices should not be on Fast Tech. We don't support any kind of... we don't support or supply to any Chinese trading companies. You may see pictures of our devices on those sites, but you cannot order from them. You will be sent to a distributor because we don't do any deals with them. We don't sell them product, anything like that, because we want to make sure that we're fair to shop owners, because we want to make sure that we set the price. We don't want somebody getting something and selling it for $10 more than what they bought it from, somewhere else. We want to keep the market stable on our devices so you as consumers and shop owners are both happy.
Okay. Mr. Sip wants to know, do you use the .com? He's referring to this particular atomizer.
I have not got a chance to use the .com yet. I have been very intrigued by it. I want to take a look at it. No shops where I'm at currently have it, so I'm kind of waiting for that to release down here so I can take a look and try it out because I'm very intrigued by it.
Okay. Scuba says, then go to Mania, it'll be there.
I'll have to bring it up to my my director of operations. He's the guy who makes the decisions about the shows. Yeah. So it's definitely something to look into, and I'll definitely bring him up.
Well, Mania is I believe it's the first weekend. It's Labor Day weekend, so it's very early in next month. Albie wants to know where in Florida you are.
Our base of operations is in Orlando.
Okay. And Country Pammy just put in the link to the .com RDA. I will be adding that to the comments of this video when it goes up on YouTube.
Right.
Okay. Anyone else? Any further questions? As we give it another few seconds. Yes, Sentinel Prime, he did say it is a Twisted Messes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm a builder by hobby, so the Twisted Messes was kind of a go-to for me.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to tell us before we go ahead and turn it back into our squirrel show?
Okay. Well, I'd just like to thank you, first of all, for letting me come on. It's been a really fun time. Thanks for talking to me at Vape Expo New Jersey, and this has been great. I think that if you guys have any kind of interest in a Dovpo product, please go to your shop and tell that if they don't carry them, give them our contact information. Tell them that you like Dovpo, that they're putting out new stuff, and that it's very interesting. Other than that, if you like our device, in my opinion, they're very affordable and they're very reliable devices. And I think that it's a very good investment. If you like it, support the company and, go get yourself one. You don't have to buy the Guardian and spend the $120. You can get yourself one of the little executives and rock your tank if that's what you're into. You know what I mean? I personally keep one of the executives in my car with a tank just so I can have that while I'm driving.
Okay. Pammy, can you go ahead and put the website, the web address in for the Dovpo? I believe it's dovpousa.com?
Yes.
Okay. In the time it takes her to get that, she'll also probably be grabbing the Facebook page and all of these others. She's our link ninja.
Yeah, we have an Instagram, we have a Facebook page, we have a Twitter, and well, yeah, our website.
So you don't have a YouTube channel yet?
We do have a YouTube channel. Actually, I forgot to mention that. Yes, it is. Let me just pull my YouTube up real quick. Search Dovpo USA, and it's our white logo with the D, and it says Dovpo underneath of it. So if you just search Dovpo USA, we also have tutorial videos of me doing giving you an unboxing and how to get your devices up and running.
Okay. Okay, that's the Dovpo eSig. Then there's DovpoUSA.com.
Yes, there's DovpoUSA.com. That is
Yeah.
the United States version.
Okay. All right. If you'd like to stick around in about a minute or two, I'm going to be fading to black and opening the door, and we're going to be scrolling out. It's going to be a lot more informal, and that part will not be put on YouTube. So you'll be able to talk as Jordan Mallot instead of Jordan, the sales manager. All
Right. Yeah, that'd be really fun. I'd like that.
All right. If you'll just hold on just a second, I'll be right back. Let me go ahead and go back through all these devices. Be right back.